Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, so as Patrick said, I'm Thomas, or Tom, or whatever we call me. I'm one of the first sector development officers at TVA and with the lead on the funding side. So this morning I want to speak to you about a funding opportunity that we have available in Torfaen, in TVA at the moment, and it's the Community Winter Support Fund. Now this fund has been granted to us through Third Sector Wales as well as Welsh Government to support organisations who are providing a service to vulnerable people in need during this period. So, as you can see on the poster, we've awarded £8,030 to groups, projects across Torfaen providing the service. They've used the money to buy warm clothing, so hats, scarves, gloves, etc. They've actually managed to get some Christmas hampers made for both children and families with learning disabilities, as well as older people who are living alone and isolated. But also you can use the fund if you wanted to apply for transportation. So, for example, if you're hosting something at a local venue and you know someone would like to attend, but they're unable to get there, your organisation can apply for transportation towards that. So helping all throughout this winter period to attend a session. It's not just for Christmas, it's up until March. And we're really keen to see as many projects in Torfaen come forward. So if you'd like to get in touch, the number's on the screen, but also if you want to discuss an idea you may have, feel free to get in touch about it. And that's it.
Has anybody got any questions about that for Thomas? I know the next time the panel will be meeting won't be till the new year, so any applications received now won't be assessed until the second week of January, Thomas, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Has anybody got any questions for Thomas then? We will, of course, be sharing out the information about this fund, as well as other future funding possibilities that we have upcoming in the new year. From funding then, we turn now to volunteering, and to talk about that this morning is Callum Jones. Callum.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. So, yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Callum, and similar to Tom, I'm Third Sector Development Officer, but with a bit of a focus on volunteering. So yeah, I'm going to talk for a little while just about the latest volunteering updates and what's happening in Torfaen at the moment across the world of volunteering and the support that we can provide there. So firstly, we're continuing to develop what we're calling a community of volunteers Torfaen. So it's a group of volunteers willing and ready to support and volunteer within Torfaen to support your organisation. They will have completed an induction with us here at TVA, so we get a real sense of firstly their skills, their availability, you know, what it is that they're looking to do and how they're looking to volunteer. So, you know, we're creating a sort of a full profile, if you like, on these volunteers to enable us, I think, to best signpost and place them within Torfaen, and as I say, to support your organisation. And then within that, we're putting together, and I'll move on to it now in a little moment, but it's a full sort of access to training as well that the community of volunteers are able to access with various different training sessions. And like I said, that does take us on to the Torfaen Volunteer Induction Portfolio, so Torfaen VIP for short, which was put together by my colleague Claire here. So yeah, it's a new scheme, new project, bit of a pilot, I guess, in the first instance here in Torfaen. It's following the conversation around volunteering passports and that kind of thing. So yes, Torfaen VIP, which at its core is a programme of introductory online training to support new and existing volunteers in Torfaen. So training sessions are to include a basic first aid, safeguarding adults and children, health and safety, and much more. So the likes of GDPR, data protection, really sessions that are just going to really enable volunteers to best support organisations. so they can really, I guess, hit the ground running within the organisation that they're volunteering with. So yeah, we're really excited, I think, about this development. We've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, and pleased to be working alongside Torfaen Adult Learning and colleagues over there. So that will be put together throughout the early part of next year and launched within the first couple of months of next year, I think, won't it? So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and very much sort of an online training session, which you'll then sort of create a little bit of a portfolio, a bit of a personalised look at what training you've completed, and then from there it'll take you on to some further more I guess specific type training sessions, aren't they? Related to what volunteering it is that you're doing. So for example, if you need to do a food hygiene course, then that'll be available, and we're looking to sort of I guess bunch those together around specific types of volunteering. So yeah, really exciting stuff, and we'll keep everyone posted on that via the membership in the new year. That takes us on quite nicely to Torfaen Volunteer Awards, which is a forum for, again, new and existing volunteers to share experiences of their volunteering and really chat with one another. There's lots of volunteering happening in Torfaen, and has done for the last 18 months or more around COVID and the support that was provided there. But really wanting, I guess, as well to target those that have been volunteering for a number of years and just make it sort of very much part and parcel of what it is that they do. So yeah, a real space for them to come together, chat, for us to learn from those volunteers. We'll be looking, as it says there, launching in January 2022 with a bit of a coffee morning type session. So again, an exciting little bit of work that we're doing around that, and these all kind of link together, I think, in that the community of volunteers will be very much part of that Torfaen volunteer voice, alongside existing volunteers and those that are volunteering elsewhere around Torfaen. And then just lastly there, something that we've been putting together for the last sort of year or more now, 2 years, is Torfaen Volunteer Management Forum. So, and I think these kind of work together in that there's a forum there for volunteer coordinators and managers, those that work with volunteers. And then the Torfaen Volunteer Voice is really for volunteers. So they'll work hand in hand with one another, I think, and can almost feed into one another. Maybe look in the future to have a representative from each come along to 1 or 2 meetings. And yeah, like I say, I see those working quite well and really sort of feeding into one another. So just a reminder, Torfaen Volunteer Management, really, we held something back in November as for a bit of a guest speaker that came in, and we'll be putting together that next forum meeting in the first quarter of next, or the last quarter, should I say, of the 21-22 year. So yeah, that's it from me. Any questions or anything, do let me know.
Has anybody got any questions for Callum about the training or about the networks that we have? Yes, Jacky.
Hi, Callum. I'm Jacky Rue. I've come here with 2 hats on. I'm supporting Tracy with TAF, but also just regarding my support for the Gypsy Traveller community, who I've worked with over many years. I'm just wondering what the age range is for your volunteers. What's the minimum age range that they can start volunteering with you?
It really depends, Jacky, in terms of the kind of opportunity in which they're looking at. So we see a number of roles and opportunities from sort of 14 plus.
Right. Okay.
Yes, yeah, so some of them sort of young persons volunteering from 14 plus. You then got like 16 plus and 18 plus. The majority of roles do tend to be 18 plus, but no, youth volunteering is huge at the moment, and family volunteering as well. Parents taking out their youngsters and that kind of thing. So it really does depend.
Yeah, the reason I'm interested is we support a member of the Gypsy Traveller community working in Westmont School, and there's likely to be some changes coming up, and there's a possibility of that post being done by somebody else in future months. And I'm quite interested in looking at the range of training courses that you're offering as a volunteer, which we might be able to use as a sort of educational option prior to any future employment opportunity, and in a more relaxed environment, if you know what I mean. So it's quite interesting that you take them from 14 upwards, because it might well open up the opportunities for some of the young people in that community, just one or two of them that might be considered for employment, to run through that training course with you, doing those courses.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Torfaen VIP, the volunteer induction portfolio, that's still in development, if I'm honest, and will be for a couple of weeks yet. But
even just the first aid and the health and safety stuff, all of that's really quite useful.
Yeah.
And will give us an opportunity to see how well that person or those people do in coping with that sort of environment as well. So.
And what we're offering alongside that, Jacky, which may be useful, is, conscious that it's a majority of this training will be online. It'll be done virtually, in which it's almost a self-learning type model. But alongside that, we'll be offering the opportunity for small groups to come into our office space here, potentially the centres that community adult learning have across Torfaen, in Crossy Killiog and here in Pontypool, to sit those themselves, and with us in person. So you could almost say, today we're gonna take a look at the safeguarding module, invite a small group in to do that. So we're really flexible around that as well. In that, I'm sure we can come out and do some stuff with schools, and come up to Westmont,
Okay.
Doing that. So yeah, do keep a look out. It's likely to be sort of complete and ready to go in March next year is what we're thinking. So yeah, you'll be kept up to date with all that via the membership.
That's great. Thanks very much, Callum. Thank you.
As well, Jacky, and speak to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for your question there, Jacky. Let's move on if there's no other questions for Callum. Hang on a second. No other questions. Okay, we move then to governance, and to talk more about that is my colleague Claire.
You don't have to laugh, Patrick. This is the first time that I've spoken at one of these forums, so I'm quite nervous, so they will taking the mick out of me. I'm Claire. I'm Finance and Project Support Officer for Torfaen Voluntary Alliance. Obviously, governance is a big part of our support for our third sector organisations, and during Trustees Week we were advertising that we do our governance health checks. Now this is a chance to give you for us to come out and sort of review your policies, look at your policies with you, just to make sure that everything's up to date, that your trustees understand their role within your organisation, and that you actually nothing has changed within the delivery of your organisation's purpose. Obviously, some of that does happen now, over the last sort of 24 months that we've had with the pandemic and different things, and people don't think to look at their policies and know that they just may need a little bit of tweaking and things like that, even down to, being able to have forum Teams meetings and different things like that. It's all got to be covered in your constitution. So that's just an example. So Patrick and myself have been out, we've met with a few groups. Really nice to put faces to names and be able to engage and understand what the organisations are really getting up to out there. So it's just something that we offer, and we weren't just offering it for that week. We're always here. There's a section on our website, so if you can have a look, you can just get in touch, and we can make arrangements to come out. Just an informal chat, like I say, for you to get to know us a bit more, for us to get to know you a bit more, so we've got an understanding of what we both do. I think I've covered everything on that. Also,
Claire, we've we've started a new service for DBS checks for volunteers in Torfaen, haven't we?
Yeah, I didn't see you change the slide there. Sorry, Patrick, I've got my notes right. So yeah, at the moment we're able to offer DBS for volunteers, and I do stress it is for volunteers only, because we have had some queries for paid staff, but we can only do for volunteers. A lot of it is all outlined on our website, because there always is quite a bit of confusion on whether a DBS check is needed. Up on our website we've put an eligibility flow chart, so you can go through the flow chart to see if you do need a DBS check. If there is some confusion, if you need to discuss it more, please feel free to contact us and we can go through things with you. If it's identified then that we need to go ahead with the checks, we can make some appointments, we can come into the office, complete the forms, and we can take it from there. Yeah, me.
Has anybody got any questions for Claire? Claire, that was your first one, you did it, nice one. If anybody has got questions for Claire, then please feel free to ask us. I just saw a hand go up, but nope.
I just wanted to, sorry, this is Sam from TAF. I just wanted to say you spoke very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Completely agree there. Let's move on then. If there aren't any questions for Claire about the DBSs or the governance health checks, we will of course be pushing those out again in the next couple of weeks. So just feel free to get in touch with us at any time. Talking then about engagement at the moment, we're starting a new project called Listening to You. And now it's not about what we do as a CVC, it's about what we should be doing as a CVC, how we support your service, how we should be supporting your service. It's all about a conversation, I suppose a live case study. So we are starting to roll that out. That will be out again in the early part of January. And there's also, with that regard, our AGM. Now, the AGM is an opportunity for you to talk about what we do, and for us to talk about what we do. It is basically the what, the how, and the why of TVA. It's about having your say about what we do and what the third sector is all about in Torfaen. This is going to be taking place at Clanravan Social Club on the 18th of January. Preparation is well underway at the moment for that. We're going to be hearing from some of the projects that we've been supporting over the last 18 months or so. It's looking at the figures, I suppose, of 2020-21 and the work we've undertaken as well in the last sort of, well, the 18 months during the pandemic. It will be in person, but we have also got plans to do it virtually too. And as I can see from the chat, the links have been shared for that there. So thank you, Victoria. Moving from that then to the Connect Torfaen platform. Now, Connect Torfaen, it's still relatively new. It's an opportunity for groups and individuals to connect across Torfaen. At the moment, it's more about you putting your events on there, or for example, if you're looking for a volunteer, you can put it on there, and then I can then share that out across our networks, whether that be on social, whether that be on our mailing list, or with any of our statutory partners, and like Pat was talking about earlier, on her networks too. So anything you have on Connect, we can share out, and then you can get more interaction via that way. Still in its early days, and there's still a lot more development to happen with that platform. But if you do have any queries about getting on there or how to use it, please feel free to get in touch with me. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me right now. I like silence sometimes. This is one of those times. Right, let's move on then to the TCVA, which happened in the 2nd of October. It seems like a lifetime ago now, but it was only a matter of weeks back. Callum, would you like to talk briefly about the awards and what we have coming up shortly?
Yeah, so I don't think we've had much of an opportunity to talk to our membership or a group really around the TCVA. So TCVA, Torfaen Community Volunteer Awards. And as Patrick said, we held that on the 2nd of October. It was well attended. It was a great evening in which we got to recognise and celebrate, I guess, the volunteering efforts from across Torfaen. And we're looking really to make this an annual event now, each year, probably to take place during that October type period, and really building on what we did this year into next year, and planning for next year is underway, and we'll be looking to sort of I think, post some information on that early next year. We looking at potential sponsors and that kind of thing, so that the development itself. But yeah, no, great evening. I think we had about 160 guests. We recognised 10 volunteers from across Torfaen with various different categories, and you can see some pictures there on the screen of the various different winners. So yeah, we'll be, as I say, we'll be pushing ahead with the awards for 2022, sort of bigger and better, I think, and hoping to really see some more nominations and that kind of thing as well next year. I think we received over 100 nominations in Torfaen over the summer period this year, but really looking to develop that and make it bigger next year. So I don't know, Patrick, have you got the video to share today?
We certainly have, yeah. It is it's a bit of a world premiere because it hasn't been seen by anybody outside of these four walls. So sit back, grab some popcorn and enjoy, and hopefully this works, the premiere of our little video from the TCVA back in October.
Please welcome to the stage the Lord Lieutenant of Went, Brigadier Robert Aitken, CBE.
Volunteers are what make society worth living. You all know that. If it wasn't for people who gave up their time voluntarily, as you all do, in order to make the world a better place, the world would not be as nice a place as it is now. On behalf of the Queen, it is my privilege to thank all of you for what you have done, to encourage you to carry on doing all of that, and above all, to wish you a fantastic evening. Thank you very much.
So Callum, this will be going out on our socials now, won't it, in the next couple of days?
That's right, yeah, and obviously you can just see here that we're scrolling through some acknowledgements, you know, and hopefully with that video you can get a sense of, you know, just how special that evening was. You know, a lot of work went into it from the team here at TCVA, and you know, it was a partnership piece of work alongside Torfaen Community Council and the Health Board and various other partners as well. So you can see we're just scrolling through a couple of those now, but you know, Bronavon and Melin Homes supported us right throughout, as did Torfaen Leisure Trust. So yeah, just really needing to recognise those, through these acknowledgements and sponsors as well, I think. So you will see through that video that we had a sponsor for each category. You know, that specifically sponsored a category, but it wasn't just those. There was many others that sponsored at, you know, various different levels, and I think without any of them, you know, the event wouldn't have been as special as it was. So really important to recognise those. And yes, this will be going out shortly, I think, over the next couple of weeks or so, Patrick, and we're developing a little bit more of a second version as well, with some video footage and some speeches from the evening. You can see all our sponsors there, actually. So that is everyone that's supported us, and you know, as I say, without them the evening wouldn't have been what it was. But yeah, a second edit will be going out, or a second version, should I say, over the Christmas period or into the new year, which will give you a bit more of a sense of the evening with some speeches and that kind of thing, and then really pushing on with next year and 2022, inviting opportunities for other partners to get involved as well. And we've already held some really positive conversations with a couple of other organisations across Torfaen who now want to be part of what we're doing next year. So yeah, should anyone want to get involved or want to find out a little bit more about the Torfaen Community Volunteer Awards, then do let us know.
Thank you for that, Callum. Let's move on then briefly to our Christmas opening, because it's a week tomorrow we close for the Christmas period. We're closing a week tomorrow, Friday the 17th, and then we're back in action on the 4th of January on the Tuesday morning from 9 AM, not bleary-eyed whatsoever. Also then, as we mentioned previous, the AGM is happening on the 18th of January at Clanravan Social Club. There are limited spaces for this in real time, but we will also be planning to do this meeting across Teams. But of course, keep in touch with us, get registered, as the space are limited, and we will let you know more about that as the time gets closer. But more information about that will actually be going out later today. But apart from that, if you need to contact us, our website is there. Our phone number is 01495 365 610, and pretty much, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask now. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us today, and have a very happy Christmas.
Thank you, Patrick. Happy Christmas to everybody too. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Patrick. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Patrick.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.